Well, bad and frustrating news for cricket fans, especially from India and England. The first Test match has been called off at Trent Bridge after incessant rain. We told you it was the weather wasn't looking very promising. It was raining before the start of the match. The start was delayed, and then it was just a little too much for day to happen, obviously, and the Test match was called off. It was a tantalizing spoiled. It was tantalizingly spaced at one stage, and that's the shame about it. It was looking like it could be a really interesting Test match, with India still needing 157 runs, England needing 9 wickets to wrap this Test match up. Both teams were keen to go 1-0 up, and especially last evening when Players headed for stumps. It looked nice. The conditions were okay. It was good conditions for batting. Joe Root made the most of it. Got 100. Got a got a century. But and Jasprit Bumrah, of course, he stood out with 9 wickets in this Test match. But it was unfortunately the match had to be called off because of the rain. The second Test match, of course, starts on the 12th of August, about 3 days now. 3 days from now, you'd hope for a little reprieve in terms of the weather there. It was such an interesting phase to be at this Test match after, especially for Indian cricket, Indian sports fans. Such an amazing end to the Olympics, a gold medal, 7 medals, the overall tally, the most successful Olympics, and a lot of fans would have looked forward to the cricket team and hope for victory at Trent Bridge to go 1-0 up, against England in the series. So that was a bit of a shame that this match had to be called off. England, on the other hand, Joe Root, like I said, his body language was very positive. The England pacers were on fire. Especially Stuart Broad, bowled with a lot of hostility towards the latter half of the day during the Indian innings. KL Rahul looked good in the first innings. And I think that is the biggest takeaway for India from this Test match. Yes, it was a lot of rain. The match was affected. Eventually, it was washed off. But KL Rahul's batting at the top in these conditions, he was watchful, he was stoic, he was solid in defense. He knew what he was doing out there. These are not easy conditions, and these have not been easy conditions for Indian batsmen who have scored runs in Australia. But in England and New Zealand in particular, they struggled. Some of them have really struggled. You saw that collapse there after England were knocked out for 183. KL Rahul's innings was it was good news for India. Ravindra Jadeja, as usual, we come to expect so much of him. And watching that knock from him was also something that the Indian team would have really cherished. As well as Justin Bumrah, he looked off color, and then he flagged a fair bit of criticism for his spells in the World Test Championship final. But he's such a class act, isn't he? He just came back strong and delivered 9 wickets. If India had gone on to win this Test match, of course, had play been possible on the final day, and had India gone on to win this Test match, he would have had a starring role. But also spare a thought for Joe Root, leading from the front, burdening the responsibility of a very brittle England batting lineup at the moment. Scored runs in the first innings, got 100 in the second innings. Again, didn't quite get the result. For England and India both, that middle order will be of concern. For India, of course, it's about form, especially from Chiteshwar Pujara and Ajinkya Rahane. Need these two men to step up, and hopefully it would start to get better for the Indians once the second Test match starts in a few years from now. Well, then that's that. The first Test match has been washed out because of rain. The final day was completely washed out. No play was possible. And about a few minutes back, the matchup for the officials said, well, that's all the update that I have. Unfortunately, there's not much to talk about on this Test match anymore because no play was possible. We've spoken about Rahul, we've spoken about Bumrah, Joe Root, and the India pace attack as well. Looked very, very good. Looked as usual as it has for so many years. It has looked really, really good throughout this Test match. But work to be done for a couple of Indian batsmen, and work to be done for a lot of the England batsmen, apart from Joe Root, of course, who's such a force to reckon with in international cricket. Well, then, that's that. The end of a huge weekend for Indian sports. The end of a huge weekend for sports. The Olympics, for the Tokyo Olympics, were closed today. The closing ceremony happened, and the USA have, of course, topped the medal tally. India finished with the best ever. medal tally of 7. And cricket, unfortunately, the first match was washed out. It's been a pleasure bringing these Olympics to you. There's plenty more coming up, like I said, color story and some nice features to watch out on Sports Today. So do watch, do subscribe to Sports Today. And of course, with the cricket season heating up, you'll get to see a lot more of us. And thankfully, it's India versus England. The Indian bowlers are looking really, really solid. And of course, we're heading into the IPL, the T20 World Cup. So it's a very, very busy year. Soon, right up until the end of December. Do watch. Also, like to subscribe to the channel. Have a very good day. Thank you.